Welcome back to the Daily Threat, your trusted source for cybersecurity news and analysis. We have a jam-packed episode with some alarming stories that every business and individual should be aware of. We'll be discussing three major stories, so let's dive right in. Our first story takes us to the United States, where the country's cybersecurity agency has added 6 critical flaws to its official list of vulnerabilities. This move comes in response to the increasing sophistication and diversity of cyber threats faced by organizations worldwide. The flaws cover a wide range of systems and applications, including web servers, email clients, and database management software. The agency has classified these vulnerabilities as critical due to the severity of the potential impact they can have on organizations. Attackers can exploit these flaws to gain unauthorized access, execute malicious code, or steal sensitive data. The vulnerabilities were discovered by cybersecurity researchers and promptly reported to the agency, which then added them to the official list. Now, let's take a closer look at each of these vulnerabilities to understand the risks they pose and how attackers might exploit them. Vulnerability 1: a remote code execution flaw in a widely used web server software. Attackers can exploit this vulnerability by sending specially crafted requests to the server, allowing them to execute arbitrary code with the server's privileges. This could lead to a complete compromise of the affected system and potential data breaches. Recommendation: organizations using the affected web server software should apply the latest patches and updates provided by the vendor promptly. Regular security audits and vulnerability assessments can help identify and mitigate such risks. Vulnerability 2: a cross-site scripting (XSS) vulnerability in a popular email client. This flaw enables attackers to inject malicious scripts into legitimate websites visited by the client, potentially leading to unauthorized access, data theft, or phishing attacks. Recommendation: email client users should update to the latest version and exercise caution when interacting with unknown or suspicious emails. Enabling email filtering and employing secure browsing practices can also minimize the risk of falling victim to such attacks. Vulnerability 3: a privilege escalation vulnerability in a widely used operating system. Exploiting this flaw allows an attacker with limited privileges to gain elevated access, potentially granting them complete control over the system and sensitive data. Recommendation: system administrators should ensure that the affected operating system is patched to the latest version. Employing the principle of least privilege, regularly monitoring system logs, and implementing intrusion detection systems can help identify and mitigate such vulnerabilities. Vulnerability 4: a SQL injection vulnerability in a popular database management software. This flaw can be exploited by injecting malicious SQL queries, allowing attackers to retrieve, modify, or delete data stored in the database. Recommendation: database administrators should follow secure coding practices and utilize parameterized queries or prepared statements to prevent SQL injection attacks. Regular security assessments and penetration testing can help identify and address such vulnerabilities. Vulnerability 5: a remote command execution vulnerability in a widely used content management system. Attackers can exploit this flaw to execute arbitrary commands on the affected system, potentially leading to unauthorized access or system compromise. Recommendation: website owners should ensure they are running the latest version of the content management system and apply security patches promptly. Implementing a web application firewall (WAF) and restricting administrative access can provide an additional layer of protection against such attacks. Vulnerability 6: a server-side request forgery (SSRF) vulnerability in a popular cloud storage service. Exploiting this flaw allows attackers to make requests to internal resources, potentially bypassing access controls and extracting sensitive information. Recommendation: users of the cloud storage service should enable appropriate access controls and restrict network connectivity to trusted sources. Regularly reviewing and updating security configurations can help mitigate the risk of SSRF attacks. These vulnerabilities pose significant risks to businesses and organizations, emphasizing the need for prompt action and proactive security measures. By addressing these flaws and staying vigilant against emerging threats, organizations can enhance their cybersecurity posture and protect their critical assets and sensitive data. In our next story, we focus on instant messaging and the steps individuals can take to make their communication more secure. We all rely on instant messaging apps for quick and convenient communication, but it's crucial to remember that these platforms are not immune to security risks. A recent article on Wired highlights 5 important ways to enhance the security of instant messaging. Use end-to-end encryption. Look for messaging apps that offer end-to-end encryption, ensuring that only the sender and recipient can read the messages. Services like Signal and WhatsApp employ this robust security measure. Enable two-factor authentication. 2FA add an extra layer of security to your instant messaging accounts by enabling 2FA. This requires you to provide a second form of verification, such as a code sent to your mobile device, in addition to your password. Regularly update your messaging apps. Keep your instant messaging apps up to date with the latest security patches and bug fixes. Developers often release updates to address vulnerabilities and improve overall security. Be cautious of unknown contacts and suspicious links. Avoid clicking on links from unknown senders, as they may lead to malware infections or phishing attempts. Exercise caution when accepting new contact requests and verify the identity of the sender before sharing sensitive information. Use secure networks. When using instant messaging apps on public Wi-Fi networks, be aware that your communications may be vulnerable to interception. Whenever possible, connect to trusted networks or use a virtual private network, VPN, to encrypt your traffic. By following these best practices, individuals can significantly reduce the risk of unauthorized access to their conversations, protect their personal information, and maintain privacy in their digital communications. Now, let's move on to our final story of the day. Our last story highlights the importance of bug bounty programs and the role they play in securing major tech platforms. Google, one of the tech giants leading the way in cybersecurity, recently shared insights into its bug bounty program for 2022. Bug bounty programs incentivize security researchers and ethical hackers to identify and report vulnerabilities in exchange for monetary rewards. They play a crucial role in identifying potential weaknesses before malicious actors can exploit them. In Google's case, their bug bounty program awarded a record-breaking $6.7 million in payouts last year alone. The program covered various Google services and products, including the Android operating system, Chrome browser, and Google Cloud Platform. Researchers uncovered vulnerabilities such as remote code execution flaws, privilege escalations, and information leaks, among others. These discoveries allowed Google to address these vulnerabilities promptly and enhance the security of its offerings. Bug bounty programs not only benefit the organizations running them, but also the security community as a whole. By actively involving ethical hackers, organizations gain valuable insights into their system's vulnerabilities, ultimately leading to improved security. Researchers, in turn, are rewarded for their efforts and contribute to making the digital ecosystem safer for all users. If you're a cybersecurity enthusiast or aspiring ethical hacker, consider participating in bug bounty programs. These initiatives provide an opportunity to showcase your skills, contribute to improving security, and earn rewards in the process. That wraps up today's episode of the Daily Threat. We hope you found the information valuable and that it empowers you to take proactive steps in safeguarding your digital presence. Remember, staying informed and implementing best practices are crucial in the ever-evolving landscape of cybersecurity. Don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Threat for daily updates on the latest cyber threats, vulnerabilities, and security tips. Stay one step ahead with our expert analysis and recommendations. The Daily Threat has been brought to you by QIT Solutions, your trusted partner in cybersecurity. Thank you for joining us today, and until next time, stay safe and secure.